Everyone, welcome back to the Band and Block Club. You know us as You Found Really Ringwood.
Yes, welcome to the Island of Misfit Toys.
The Island of Misfit. Oh, very topical. We're getting close to that for the holidays. So,
yeah,
as we've been putting this together, this town has gone crazy this week, and this episode absolutely reinforces the very reason why we had to start this show.
Yeah, having easy access to only one side of the story is no way to be a community. And Ringwood,
we have proof of that this time around. It's no longer the other side of the story because facts matter, the truth matters, and it matters now more than ever before. Now, many of you listening might or might not be familiar with the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game. Have you guys all played this? We've all played this, right?
Of course, yes. I worked at a movie theater. Of course I played this game.
Exactly. See, so the idea is that it takes no more than 6 steps to link anyone or anything in Hollywood to something that Kevin Bacon has been part of. In that same grain, with this episode, we are going to play the much easier game called the 3 Degrees of WTF. Where's the focus for the kids? Let's get into it.
By now, many of you listening have seen an article shared on social media about Ryerson School here in Ringwood. That's our middle school, you know that. Just this week, a story appeared on the Chaos and Control blog entitled, Kids Shoved in a Closet, Literally. And it's written by someone called Math Goddess.
I wonder if that's their first name or their last name. If it's like John Math
knows?
Goddess or Math Goddess Smith or what.
Maybe it's their fake profile name.
Oh, we have a lot of that happening in Ringwood. There's a nice flashback episode, right? There you go. Now, this story was told from a viewpoint that was absolutely flawed and suspect at the same time. So sus. Now, first, the writer made it seem like the child was stuffed in a closet during the period of curriculum opt-out. I mean, let's just be clear about something here. Many of us at Really Ringwood are parents, just like many of you listening, and this story was troubling to read. I mean, if it was true, this is awful. And to many of us in the community, we got angry. We got absolutely riled up about this. In fact, there was quite the outcry from many in Ringwood making chaotic statements, demanding answers, and others saying worse things about our teachers. So we have a toxic, chaotic, non-productive dialogue going on in Ringwood.
And unless you paid them at least $10 to get their newsletter sent to you, you have to go to their website to read this article and get past annoying pop-up messages asking for that $10. So if you're going to read it, be prepared for the begging of money.
Yeah, again, here's if news is important, if getting details out is important, you put it out there. So they got your attention. They want your money. And, just as a quick side note to you, the Really Ringwood listener, we are glad that you're here. We expect to give you information. We want you to have an open mind, hear the other side of the story, but we don't charge you money for this. So
And we won't.
So we think we're a pretty good bargain in the big picture. So you're welcome, Ringwood.
So for the entire day, if the goal of the writer and the Chaos and Control organization was to get everyone talking about something that sounds deplorable to be happening to kids whose parents chose to opt them out of the health curriculum, they made it happen. Keyword chaos. Congratulations, you succeeded.
Yeah, again, remember in previous episodes, we've used keyword chaos quite a few times. So you're starting to see a theme in how things are happening with an outside influence here in Ringwood.
But for the rest of us in Ringwood who are not subscribers to Chaos or are blocked or banned on Facebook where this story was shared, this may be news to you. And you're thinking, really, Ringwood? There's no way this could be true. But if it was on the internet, it must be true, right?
Because everything we read on the internet is true. Fast forward to later that same day. Dr. Bernice, the superintendent of Ringwood Schools, released a statement in an effort to correct the misinformation contained in the Chaos and Control article and the social media postings that were making the rounds all day long. Now, in it, he clarified that this room, although described in the article as a, quote, computer closet, is actually a room located between offices with a full-size teacher desk and chair in it. It's got shelves, it's got cabinets, it's got glass panes, and he further shared that the single one-sided pictures in that article did not show the opening that leads to the main office, the door to the dean's office, or the glass panes between the room and both the copy room and the dean's office.
Yeah, I've personally actually been in this room, and it's not a closet. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm no property brother, and nor do any of us here at Really Ringwood have a home improvement show on HGTV. But we believe that this hardly describes a closet as it was framed by this terrible article.
Yeah, and Ringwood consulted with the Department of Children and Families, and they determined there was no need to move forward with an abuse or neglect investigation. And I have to say, I am very glad that even when this came in, that the people who were receiving this complaint, even if they thought it wasn't necessary, I'm glad that they went through the due diligence of still reporting it to the necessary offices. To me, that's a great sign that they are taking everything that comes in seriously.
Right. They didn't frame this as take our word for it. We're going to put out some things that debunk that. No, they actually took it a step further. They involved the Department of Children and Families, and full disclosure of the article and its findings were also shared with the Passaic County Executive Superintendent.
And the police. And they're also going to address the safety concern of the computer networking rack in the room, and they're going to install a partition.
All right. So in just one day that this article is out there, this article by the money-seeking math goddess of chaos and control, this one day required teachers and the Ringwood School Administration to have to stop everything and get to the bottom of something that isn't even a something.
Yeah, these are not 6-year-olds. These are 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. They know not to touch wires that are sticking out of a wall. This is just a computer room.
Right. Now, and to acknowledge, the Ringwood School District has determined that a partition or wall will need to be built to ensure the safety of those wires and of that cabinet. But that is the essence of what's here. It's not this chaos. But again, do you see that theme here? Chaos. Oh, and by the way, don't expect to see any kind of a retraction or apology from the misrepresentation at Chaos and Control. They've done what they expected to do, and that's paint us here in Ringwood with a bunch of half-truths and misinformation.
That's how they keep control.
And for all the reactions that we had in our community, we were made to look like fools.
Yeah, we fell for it, guys. We really did.
I mean, all of us in the room are thinking, initially we thought, there's no way this could be happening. And then, this might be happening. And then we saw everybody talking about it. And in the end, who's the fool? We, the community, are the fools. And outside influence making us in Ringwood look absolutely foolish, silly. Mm-hmm. That's the chaos and control element that's coming in from outside. And I think that's where we start to see, how do we connect the 3 degrees of where's the focus for the kids?
Mm-hmm.
So first, let's start with a seemingly curious Facebook post from a parent in Ringwood asking an open question about a private matter concerning something that happened when they exercised their option to have their kid in middle school opt out of the health curriculum. Now, the nature of the question, and we have it up there for you to see, had to do with where the child was spending the time while the class was covering the curriculum. Now, the parent decided they wanted them opted out. We'll come back to the suspicious nature of bringing this up as a Facebook post rather than going straight to the principal later on in the episode. But let's continue back down the path of our 3 degrees of separation here. You might recall that we've been previously talking about the outside influences trying to get a grip on Ringwood. And they are done through the actions of the NewJerseyProject.org.
Yeah, we highlighted this in episode 3 if you want to listen and get the full details.
Now, guess who publishes and hosts the Chaos and Control newsletter that wrote the Kid in the Closet article? Who is it?
Oh, I think it's the New Jersey Project.
It is indeed.
No.
Exactly. No.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe this.
Us.
So there's your 2nd degree. And now remember which campaign in this town is listed as being in lockstep with the New Jersey Project.
Well, you've got to be talking about the For the Kids campaign of David Palmisano, Melissa Kearney, and Bob Monroe.
In fact, as of the time that we are making this episode, they are continuing to amplify only the false article from Chaos and Control. And if you go to their Facebook page for the Kids, the only article you see there is the one from the New Jersey Project and Chaos and Control. not the response that right sets the information from the school district and Dr. Bernice. It is simply unbelievable what they're doing.
And that's how you get to the third and final degree of the WTF Where's the Focus for the Kids game. The problem here, it's not a game. None of this is a game. It's our community, our children, and our schools.
That's the thing. We're framing this as if it's something we should be poking fun at, and we shouldn't be.
No.
I mean, you can make somebody, I just don't understand how these kinds of games, this is just wrong.
And how is it that a kid in middle school who isn't supposed to have a phone on them anyway, how is it they're able to take a picture on their phone to the exact lack of detail needed to be the origin of an article on chaos and control? This is obviously a parent coaching their child to take these pictures, and that's horrific.
And yeah, we at Really Ringwood have been really trying to think through, how does that even happen? I mean, while this might be purely circumstantial, but remember that Facebook post that we talked about earlier in the episode, where a parent used a public forum to ask a question that just happened to be about the exact content of this article. Now, again, to you, the listener, as a parent, I find it paramount to keep any matters involving personal decisions as private as possible. No airing the dirty laundry or any laundry for everyone to be able to see. This way, I'm not drawing any undue attention to my child as I try to be the best parent, role model, and advocate for them. And I think every one of us on staff here that has kids, and many of you listening, are thinking, well, yeah, that makes sense.
So we ask an open-ended question to all the parents listening. When you recognize something is needed for your child in the school, where do you go first? Do you go to the building principal, or do you go to Facebook? Or do you go to the chaos and control blog?
Yeah, because if your answer is anything other than the principal, then we can only respond with,
Really?
Really, Ringwood?
Really?
That's how you want to be parenting?
Seriously?
It's no wonder we were all made to be looking like fools in our community. But it's really not all of us. It's a very small subset of us. And I think one thing is clear as we start to close this episode and connect all the dots. So let's kind of summarize. 1, the association of the For the Kids candidates to the New Jersey project is absolutely bad news for Ringwood. Again, these are candidates that are taking their direction from outside of Ringwood. And if elected, they'll be representing these outside interests and not our communities.
2, the chaos and control blog is part of the New Jersey project. This article was meant to smear our community and to get everyone angry about something that didn't even happen the way it was depicted. We were all made to look like fools by how many in our community and outside of our community reacted.
I mean, we on staff were getting emails from people that we know outside of this part, in New Jersey saying, does that really happen up there? And I don't know about you, but our kids go to school here, and the teachers and staff here are having to detract from their learning and development of our children to answer these baseless accusations. And we don't need this unnecessary distraction anywhere in our town, let alone in our schools with our children.
And 3, the For the Kids campaign's alliance with this group and the New Jersey Project further demonstrates they are absolutely the wrong choice come election day. And now we know more about who was attempting to manipulate our town and our schools, and who was pulling the strings with the For the Kids candidates and their close supporters.
I think we've done a pretty good job of connecting the dots and playing 3 degrees.
We won
the game. We won 3
Yay.
degrees of separation, right? But we want to just thank everyone for inviting us into your eyes and your ears for every episode that we've done. Really Ringwood, we're just going to continue to talk about the details that you're not going to see in many of our community groups, and we're going to give a voice to the other side of the story in Ringwood. But now it's not so much about just being the other side. The truth, backed up by fact, is what matters now more than ever for our town.
If you haven't seen or heard our other episodes, we have a YouTube channel with a playlist, and you can actually subscribe there to get updates for when we release our next episode.
And it's funny. I watch my kid watch YouTube, sometimes on YouTube Kids, and I hear, I want to subscribe. And I think, I'm like, no one's
say no.
No one's going to, no one's going to like or subscribe to this Really Ringwood thing. I mean, really, when we did this, we thought, all right, if 100 of you in town listen to this, great, we've done our thing. But over 3,000 views in less than a week. I mean, that's humbling to us. I mean, so for that, thank you. But you can join the conversation as you see fit.
But remember, this is just the information. It's up to you to decide what to believe for yourself.
And what's important, don't forget to vote. We're having these conversations leading up to Election Day because it's information that you need to hear. It's information that will help inform you to be an informed voter. And that's where we can make the difference for ourselves and our children in Ringwood.
We will see you again soon. Thanks for coming by.